Hey guys! So most of you must have already heard about the Kiss of Love. Aww. It was a protest against moral policing which happened right here in Kochi. What is the Kiss of Love, you ask? What? Recently a bunch of right-wing nutcases vandalized this cafe in Calicut because people were doing immoral activities. No? Nah? No, not that. No. Yes, that. I am the ghost of immoral activities and I've come to kiss you. Oh wait, you're raping a girl? Oh no, that's fine man. That's not immoral. Go ahead. I'll just go over there to Calicut. So a bunch of people here in Cochin decided to get together in a public ground and kiss. And that's where the Kiss of Love comes from. Obviously a lot of people were against this. They were like, I'm totally against this because kissing is against our culture.
Push me, and then just touch me, till I can get my...
Now don't get me wrong, a lot of people did support the protest, while some people were kind of on the fence about this issue. I mean, on one hand, I am against moral policing, but on the other hand, the Kiss of Love, it's immature and stupid and to those people I ask you, what have you done against moral policing? Huh? See, I wasn't too sure about the Kiss of Love to begin with, but then all these guys got on the internet and they kept asking the same question. What if your mother or sister came for the Kiss of Love campaign? To which a lot of people gave an apt reply, which is that, dude, I think my mom and my sister are old enough to figure out whether they want to come to the campaign by themselves. Do you know why? Because they are people. They don't need your opinion or mine. They can figure shit out by themselves. Bam! Yeah! Okay. You can check out the link in the description as to the other stupid questions they asked and the awesome answers which they received. On November 2nd, I actually went there, and the people who attended were pretty interesting. So when I got there, the road was just so much fucking traffic all over the place. But then I saw what was happening. Like, there were a bunch of right-wing political parties who were walking right in the center of the road, protesting. The fact that they are protesting against a kiss? So there was even this group who brought like two buffaloes, dressed one up in a blonde wig, one up in a hat. Yeah, you know, because they're like satirizing the Western culture. I am the ghost of Western culture. You know, because I have a hat. You know, it's Western, I guess it's... Oh, made in China. But when different extremists met, they put their religious differences aside and they just like joined forces against the kiss. Who would have known if that's what was required to prevent all this religious tension? There was something common between all these guys. They all look like no one is going to ever kiss them, which is probably why they were against it. I mean, they were all like, Inkulab Zindabad!
Inkulab Zindabad!
Nammale aarum chumbilla!
Nammale aarum chumbilla!
Inkulab Zindabad! Fuck you! But my personal favorite were these bunch of guys who were out there on the ground picking up trash. You know, because they were cleaning up India. So sweet. Now more than anyone else, they were random idiots. They were just standing there going like... I mean, these guys were the real problem there. At any point, someone could just sneeze and they just panic and run off in a random direction, causing a stampede. And they just be like running and tripping over each other and falling into the dirt. There was this one guy who just like landed on his face. Well, yeah, you can't have a protest without the protesters, right? Except I didn't see any. I forgot. The police had already taken them into preventive custody. I mean, they could at least call it protective custody. But yeah, I guess they were honest about it. So here's the logic. The police said that if these people were allowed to protest, there would be people protesting against the protest. And because of the protesters, the counter-protesters might get violent. So they arrested the protesters, but not the counter-protesters, who are creating most of the problem to begin with, so that, you know, there were no... What? I mean, a few people actually reached the venue and they were just sitting down and just kind of like, fuck you moral police and that sort of shit. But there was I actually heard this, there was like a police guy, like he went all tough guy like, police ne kaliyaka? Nee police ne kaliyaka? Protester was trying to explain, Allah sir, it's police ne like moral police ennu parayunna idu police alla, moral policing oru niyamam illa, idu ningalde pole sir school lonnum poyittille, buddhi vivaralla alle. Are jolly thanna? Yeah, how did these policemen get their jobs? Yeah, I just have like 10 rupees. I mean, at this point we expect so little of these policemen that I was surprised that most of them were having a lot of restraint. They were not just beating up people randomly. They were just running around scaring people like da, 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 da. I guess they were just doing their jobs and just clearing out the crowds, and also not doing their jobs and arresting the people who are actually like causing a lot of traffic jams. So, in conclusion, this was ultimately a case of old people who just can't accept change based on a really sexually repressed society. Hopefully the kiss of love will be the first step towards a society that is open enough to accept PDA. Or we can just wait around for the old people to die and just, they're old. As for the protest itself, it turned out to be a metaphor of Kerala. There were a lot of political parties just shouting out whatever. The police didn't do their job, so in order to compensate for that, they kind of just arrested whoever they wanted to. A lot of jobless men just standing around looking at things. And of course, no kissing and no booze.
If you support immoral activities and Western culture, click on the link. It takes you to the Facebook page of Kiss of Love. Also like, comment and subscribe. You filthy repressed animal.